It's a false call.
Yeah. It's gonna flow up.
Shift passing today.
You're right there.
So, okay, I just say.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. Welcome to our worship service here at UU Mount Airy. I am Reverend McKinley Sims. I use he, him pronouns, and I am glad to be very much co-leading the service today. But we'll be hearing wonderful words of wisdom about generosity and something called Article 2 from our intern minister, Shay Dively. This morning we have music from Bruce Pollock Johnson, Holly Ferris, and the Restoration Choir today. Before we get going, friends, I want to take a second just to tell you some of the do's and the don'ts, and then we're going to share some news here. So if you have a cell phone or anything that makes noise, we invite you to turn it off at this point and to please center yourself here. We are live streaming to the internet, so if you're joining us from home on Zoom, we are so glad to be together. If you need closed captions on your Zoom, please click the CC button that is at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're new here and you have young children or young adults who are younger than 18, we have religious education opportunities available. Midway through the service, we will tell a story from the wonderful Elizabeth Ann Terry. And then our kids, if they would like to, will go to the other part of the building over in Hale Hall for their religious exploration time. If you want to stay here with your parent or guardian, you are more than welcome to do that. So let's take a breath together. Everything that's going on today and in our world, it is good to gather together here in this place. And we had some sad news this week in our congregation. Our beloved Ethne Ross, who had been living out at Folkways for a long time and had been very much homebound since the pandemic, was able to be with us a few times, and who got a terminal diagnosis of cancer about 6 months ago, passed away this week. She was able to be visited by lots of family and friends. She was very much at peace and very comfortable, very well taken care of out at Folkways. And it's still really hard. So we're going to take a moment to honor Ethne in a small way today as the family makes preparations to honor her more fully. So let's take a moment of stillness, and we're going to light a candle here in the sanctuary. Friends, in mystery we are born, in mystery we live, and in mystery we die. We honor the mystery and wonder of Ethne Ross today. May her love be remembered always. Amen. So today's service is on generosity. And we'll be speaking a little bit more about that and what that means for us as a congregation. We're going to be talking a lot about Unitarian Universalist decision-making, something called General Assembly. So if you're new here, just stick with us. There's going to be a lot of words today, but it's an important service. So as we dive into that, let's take a second to remember who we are and why we're here. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation, which means we are people of all different faith traditions. Some who believe in God and some who have no tradition at all. Some who were born Unitarian Universalists and some who come from other religious traditions. We are people of many differences, different racial identities, gender expressions, different ways of moving in and showing up in the world. And we are people who make the same covenant promises of how we want to be and act together for transformation and healing. We meet in this historically universalist sanctuary, which means that everyone is welcome in this beautiful tapestry of diverse love, and we welcome all who welcome all. If that sounds like a place for you, then we have been waiting for you to bring all of yourself here. Our mission is to build beloved community by embracing all souls and nurturing wholeness in ourselves and in the world. May this be that place for you today. And may our gratitude, our generosity, our memories of beloveds be guiding lights for us this morning. As we consider generosity as a core spiritual value of our individual and collective lives, we consider what generosity does for us, and we seek abundance rather than scarcity this morning. We interrogate how generosity is about more than just money, and we tread boldly into discomfort for some, into comfort for others, and into the gray space of beloved conversations. Let's take one more breath this morning and worship together. Thank you. In Unitarian Universalist congregations, we light a chalice to celebrate our coming together in love. It is the symbol of our faith tradition. If you were joining us from home, we invite you to light a candle or chalice if you have one, wherever you are. And if you're here in the sanctuary, if you would read these words with me as we light our chalice here in the sanctuary. The words are from Reverend Michelle Collins. As we light this chalice with its freely shared light and freely shared warmth, let us be reminded of the many things that are freely shared with us and that we freely share with others. May we lean into generosity shared from the heart that can warm those around us. Our opening hymn is a special treat. I invite Bruce Paul Johnson forward to share what is a UU Mount Airy original called We Are Building. I'm going to let Bruce share a little bit more and lead us in this song.
So we had a board retreat a little while ago. Can you hear that? Is that better? All right. We had a board retreat in January, and part of what we were doing was trying to connect all that we do here with our mission. And we met on Friday night and then Saturday morning, and Saturday morning at 3 a.m., the song came to me. You know the tune probably. You can go to the words, Mike. We are building beloved community. We are building beloved community. We are building community. Justice and love, they hold the key. We are building beloved community. We're embracing every soul. We're embracing every soul. We're embracing every soul, so we all can be made whole. We're embracing every soul. We are nurturing all our lives. We are nurturing all our lives. We are nurturing all our lives, so we all can truly thrive. We are nurturing all our lives. We are building beloved community. We are building beloved community. We are building community. Justice and love, they hold the key. We are building beloved community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Make sure this one is on. Fabulous. We're going to revisit that song a little bit later, so we're getting good practice this one. Friends, part of our being together and what we really value here in Unitarian Universalist congregations is helping hold one another through all of what it is to be human, through the joys and sorrows of our lives. And it is not always easy to let others know what you need, to let others know when you're hurting. Sometimes it's just as hard to let others know when you are full of joy and celebrating, especially when there are so many hard things in the world this week. So we make space for that sharing here through participation in a ritual we call Joys and Sorrows. If you are so willing, we would invite you to come up by this side aisle and to take a minute to check in with yourself. What am I holding today? What emotions am I experiencing? What joys or sorrows, prayers or hopes, needs, wishes? What burdens might I let down that might be held together in this beloved community? Let that rock become infused with whatever it is, and then you gently drop it into the bowl of water that symbolizes this place. As you come up, you might notice how the rocks nestle against one another, as we do here, helping one another through whatever it is. If you have something especially pressing and you would like to share it with the community, I invite you to speak directly into this microphone. Tell us your name and what you are feeling today. If you're joining us online, if you would use the chat function and let us know if you would like your joy or sorrow to be read out loud, we will share those here in the sanctuary as well. We're going to listen to some music, and then we'll take a small moment to check in afterwards. Come, come, whoever you are, the table of joys and sorrows is open.
I'm still Bruce. Just wanted to express a joy that in the same space on Friday night, our son, Jamie Paulson, Jamie the Optimist is his stage name, did a fantastic job opening for David Roth. The whole evening was spectacular. The two sets meshed together beautifully, and it was just all that I could hope for. It was wonderful. And I'm looking forward to the potluck in the Justice Council today, too.
Ditto. Well, just my height. Amazing. Hi, I'm Jill. I was too new to this congregation to have known Ethne, but I did meet her at her home. There was a gathering, lovely, lovely gathering this summer, and she left all these beautiful scarves out, and so this is one of them. I'm just really happy that I got to meet her for a moment. She was lovely, and I wore it last night when I knew of her passing, and wearing it today.
Good morning. I'm Jim Walters. As many of you know, my singing partner Dave Sharp and I sang a benefit recital here a couple weeks ago. First of all, I want to thank any of you, all of you here and at home who attended, and especially for those who made free will donations. Thank you very much. And just an FYI, that recital generated a total of over $600, which is being split evenly. So over $300 to UMA, which is what I call UU Mount Airy. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Annie, and I'm wanting to send out prayers for Suzanne Weltman.
Hi, my name is Tim Steyer. I was saddened to learn yesterday those who were one of the greatest jazz musicians in our community, who also has graced us by playing here in our sanctuary many, many times. His name is Tony Williams. He was a neighbor of mine on Sharpnack Street, passed away. I think he was in his 90s, but he gave us a lot of good years.
Good morning. My name is Brenda. I put a stone of remembrance in for Ethne, a stone to hold in love Kathy McCoubry and her family on the loss of her mother a couple days ago, and also a stone for Suzanne Weltman, a member of our congregation who continues to recover from serious health challenges.
Good morning, I'm Ann, and I just want to say, the last time I saw Ethne, I found out that she loved Don Giovanni and that she had heard that opera in Austria, and I just imagine her with all this velvet and gold enjoying that wonderful opera.
Good morning. My name is Anam. I wasn't here last week. If I had been, I wanted to acknowledge the passing of a friend and musical colleague, Patrick Hughes, passed away unexpectedly from a heart attack, a wonderful trumpeter. Just finding out now from Tim about Tony Williams, and I studied with him and the pianist Sonny Hochster at Waterview Community Center as my first jazz band, and he was just such a force, so loving, so inspirational, and just to find that out just right now is really something. But Valentina, my middle daughter, and I were in a car accident. Got rear-ended, spun out, almost hit a pole. We're okay. The car is getting fixed. We had to put one of our cats, Mango, down unexpectedly, and we'll miss him very much. Sweet boy. Wow, just so much. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a lot. My grandmother-in-law, her health has been failing rapidly, and but yeah, we're still here. I got to see a wonderful harp performance the other day. I got to visit the James Turrell Skyscape for a friend's sound meditation yesterday, and I missed Jill's show at the Falzer Club because I ended up picking up an impromptu gig, and I heard you had a great show, this is also the anniversary of a friend and peer parent who took his own life, and I'd like to acknowledge Jamil as well. So.
From our friends online, blessings and sorrow for Ethne's family. And from Bernadette, love and light for her, for some worries over her health network, for a friend who donated a kidney, and for Gary, who starts some more of his radiation on Thursday. We'll ask Shay to put one final stone in for all those joys and sorrows not spoken out loud, but held in the quiet of our hearts and held by a love that will not let us go. Thank you, friends. Would you join me in putting your hand on your heart, please? As we feel the beat of our heart in our chest that reminds us that we are alive and that the world around us is charged with possibility, crackling with love, waiting for us to do our part in creating wholeness and healing and transformation. Just listen to the rhythm of your body, the generosity of your own blood pumping through your veins. May this rhythm power us through all of what it is to be human. May we hold one another. May the God that is love accompany us every step of the way. Friends, I'm going to invite you into a song of reflection on the piano. It's called May I Be Filled with Loving Kindness. I invite you to stay seated and sing as you will.
Thank you. Good morning, beloveds. Good morning. So good to see you here in the sanctuary and online. I'm Elizabeth Ann Terry, your Director of Religious Exploration, and I get to have fun with y'all. Two things to look for in the fellowship hall is this wonderful concentric circle with you at the center. This exercise echoes what we were just singing. You're at the center, your family's the next circle. Our congregation could be that next circle. Philly could be another circle. Our country, our world. The other thing to look for is this capacity inventory, I'm calling it, about how you will become involved in the religious exploration program with our children. Both will be downstairs. But you may notice that I'm carrying something else. What's this thing I'm carrying? Well, I could do Jacob's ladder, but I'm going to put this on the floor. The first circle. I have yarn in the RE room that you could take home and create your own circle with you at the center. I crocheted these things, so like, don't leave me with them, all right? And we have a wonderful story of exploration. Oops, sorry, folks online, I'm away from the mic. Of exploration about you at the center with love and your family and your city and country and the world. We are sharing love with all of those. You may have noticed that I sometimes wear this button that says, I love Elizabeth Ann. And there's a hat on it. When I retired from the UUA, they threw a bunch of parties for me, and one of the party favors was this button. I also have extras of these. So you might want to just think about how much you love yourself. That's where it starts, people. Beloveds, that's where it starts. So we have a wonderful story about circles of love that Mike's going to play for us.
The Circles All Around Us. Written by Brad Montague. Illustrations by Brad and Christy Montague. Published by Dial Books for Young Readers. We begin by drawing a circle on the ground along each shoe. A safe little place for just one person, nobody in the circle but you. You could keep that circle closed, everyone but yourself, but that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. So let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Now you see what all can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. And wouldn't it be even better if all of your friends could come and play? So you stretch and draw your circle even bigger than it's been. And let a few more people know they're welcome to come in. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. Yet, there are still so many outside the circle who are different in all they do. Though it feels slightly uncomfortable, we draw a bigger circle for them too. doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. As time passes, our eyes open. We see others we really care for, and that's when we ask ourselves, well, what's the circle really there for? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in a million little ways. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. As our circles grow and grow, and we watch them wonder-eyed, remember the first circle started with just the love you hold inside.
Thank you, friends. If we have any who are young in body and age, or young at heart, who would like to join Miss Elizabeth Ann for RE over on the other side of the building, I invite you to head over there now. Family, you can pick them up on the other side of the building after the service. Thank you. While that is happening, we have a special commissioning ritual that we're going to do right now. This is a part of something that is called the Beloved Conversations program. If you've not heard of Beloved Conversations, it's a program that comes out of Meadville Lombard Seminary, the Unitarian Universalist Seminary. It's housed in Chicago. And it seeks to empower congregations to live out the eighth principles commitments to systemic changes geared towards building anti-racist, anti-oppressive, multicultural church. They say this group will get educated, get resourced, and start to help us navigate the waters of being a multiracial, pluralist faith community. We at UU Mount Airy were selected because of, quote, your deep commitment to the faith work of racial justice and your desire to transform your congregation's systems in the direction of anti-racist, radical inclusion, and collective liberation. A lot of big words here. The goal of the program states, our goal is systemic change that is effective, healthy, sustainable, and moves the congregational system towards justice and liberation. So that's what this group is going to start working towards. They had one of their first meetings this week with their coach from Beloved Conversations. They're going to be looking at our congregation as a system and identifying the parts of it that could use an update to be more community-focused, to be more radically inclusive, and more beloved community. They say when we engage in systemic change work, we are engaging creativity at its most visionary, literally working to imagine ways of living and being together that have never existed. The work of liberation, the work of anti-racism and the eradication of white supremacy culture in ourselves and in our systems is the day-to-day creation of the beloved community, a project well suited for faith communities ready to practice these new ways of relationship. So although social and racial justice are often seen in our UU communities as work to be done out there, in the community beyond the walls of our congregations, we know that it is also our responsibility to first put our own house in order, to endeavor to align our systems, all parts of our congregations, with our deepest held values and highest aspirations. So we as a group here, we're going to do this commissioning and this blessing of the folks of this community who are participating in the Beloved Conversations program. This is the first year of a 2-year process, and we are going to do this right now. So if you are here in the sanctuary and you are part of Beloved Conversations, if you would just stand and kind of wave for a minute. And friends who are online, can you wave to everyone who is online? Thank you, thank you. I'm not going to make you stand for the whole time, so if you would like to be seated, that's fine. And our other friends who are here, we're going to do a hand on our heart again this morning. We're going to read some words together I'm going to ask Mike to bring up the words on our screen. We are going to send our love and courage to these folks who are doing some hard, time-consuming, emotionally draining work. We're going to send our love to UU Mount Area's coach, to Karen Olaoya, and to all the beloved Conversation folks around the country who are putting this boat together as we sail it, as they say. So would you read these words with me? If we are a Unitarian Universalist community who lives into our shared values, then we hope to be a space of liberation and spiritual transformation for so many people. May the work of transformation, personal, communal, systemic, be spiritual work, and may our work for racial justice be faithful work. We bless you. We bless you. We bless you. I thought it might be nice for us to sing one more round of Beloved Community, our new song today, as a final blessing for this group. I'm going to invite Bruce back up, and we're just going to sing that first verse again as a sense of love surrounds this group as they go forward into these uncharted waters. Thank you, Bruce.
So you're going to have to remember it, I guess. We're building beloved community. We're building community, justice, and love. They hold the key. Thank you, Linda. Is that on? We are building beloved community. Repeat. We are building beloved community. Justice and love. We are building beloved unity. We are building beloved unity.
Thank you, Bruce. And thank you to our friends who are doing that program. If you're interested in hearing more, if you would reach out to one of the folks who stood up and inquire about how it's going. We send them all our best wishes. Shay.
So now a little bit about Article 2. So in the summer of 2020, the Unitarian Universalist Association, the UUA, board charged the Article 2 Study Commission to review Article 2 of the UUA bylaws and propose any revisions that will enable our UUA, our member congregations, and our covenanted communities to be a relevant and powerful force for spiritual and moral growth, healing, and justice. Proposed changes should articulate core UU theological values. The board believes that one core theological value shared widely among UUs is love. The board then set forth the following guidance. The new principles and purposes should guide us in the transformation of ourselves, our communities, and our faith into active networks of collective care, restoration, and justice. The principles and purposes you will prepare should be a living document that challenges Unitarian Universalists to place liberation in all its dimensions of all at the center of our lives. They should be honest about our past, name what we are facing and our aspirations, and where we hope to be, not just today, but looking out at the horizons. They should ask us to choose love in action as the path forward. They proclaimed, "We therefore charge this commission to root its work in love as a principal guide in its work, attending particularly to the ways that we and our root traditions have understood and articulated love and how we have acted out of love. This call to review the principles and purposes is not unusual for our tradition. In fact, Article 15 mandates that Article 2 be reviewed at least every 15 years. Since the creation of the original principles during the merger of the American Unitarian Association and the Universalist Church of America in 1960, the principles and the sources have changed twice. As Donald E. Skinner wrote in the article, Time to Review the Principles, published by UU World in April of 2006, the original language, 6 principles with no sources cited, was overhauled as the result of a review in the early 1980s. And the 7th principle, affirming the interdependent web of all existence, and 5 sources were added at that time. The 6th source, Earth-Centered Traditions, was added in 1995, and in 2006, the Commission on Appraisal was invited to conduct a review, and as Jane Greer described, a 2.5-year process of hearings, congregational meetings, and interviews soliciting feedback on the current principles and purposes began. In 2008, the Commission put forth its first draft of Article 2 and asked for comments. 1,700 responses were received. Remember that number, 1,700. And in December, the Commission submitted a revised draft to the board. In June 2009, delegates rejected the draft in a very close vote. And this meant that the draft had no final vote at the 2010 General Assembly. This illustrates our democratic process and how we are part of what our faith puts forward as its bylaws and its principles and purposes. In the article study report 2001-2003, the Article 2 Study Commission described their drafts process, hosting theological panel discussions with surveys to gain an understanding of the values and sources of inspiration amongst Unitarian Universalists, developing congregational resources for small group ministry and group discussion, conducting focus groups, individual interviews, and surveys, and collecting feedback on draft language and holding feedback sessions. The Commission notes in the report that over the course of this work, it engaged in 45 feedback sessions with 4,611 total participants, and their videos reached 7,765 viewers, and their 29 surveys generated a total of 10,925 responses, some of them from this congregation here. In early 2003, the Commission submitted its recommendation to the Board of Trustees. In April 2023, suggestions for improving Article 2 proposal were collected. And in June 2023, at the General Assembly, the proposal received support and amendments were voted on. So a final vote for the proposal will be held at the 2024 General Assembly. But because we have a democratic process, additionally, final amendments may also be voted on. But that's a whole big process that you can read about online, connected to that link that I included in the newsletter. So today, as a congregation, we begin our series on the Article 2 bylaw reimagining of the UUA. And during these specific services, we'll look at proposed guiding values: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. and explore what it means to live these values through a lens of love. So we begin with the value of generosity. From the Article 2 Study Commission's final draft of its proposed revision to Article 2, the value of generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Almost 2 years ago, former UUA President Reverend Susan Frederick Gray shared a holiday season message in the UU world. And as we know, that was just about a year into the pandemic. In this offering, she writes, "Gratitude is a concrete practice that unlocks a generosity of spirit and a generosity of love. Experiencing our interconnectedness, experiencing the ways that we are not isolated beings, but deeply connected and held by gifts beyond our own making, this inspires us to nurture more attention and care into those connections." Over the last few days, I've been experiencing and remembering how these two actions, two expressions, gratitude and generosity, are closely linked, always present with each other. Some days, interactions of generosity and gratitude seem to flow freely, to be divinely fluid. I've seen it in quiet moments between friends as one supports the other as they go through family court proceedings and family conflicts. I've witnessed it as friends care for and share love with a beloved transitioning from being an elder to an ancestor. I've beheld it in the interactions between volunteers and community members. Tender moments that bring a bit of respite, a moment of peace. This feels like the way that we are meant to be with one another, communing in a way that embodies being kind and generous, honoring the reality that we are all kindred, creating experiences of joy and of hope. On other days, these moments feel far and few between, and I admit that for me, this experience or perception usually arises when I am not centered in my being and seem to be a little off. My belief in the healing energies of generosity, gratitude, and kindness has waned, and I struggle not to be inadvertently impatient or persnickety and cranky. I find my internal voice surprisingly curt and terse, even as I attempt to practice self-care. But I continue to work on bringing myself back to center, to reconnect with self, the interdependent web of life and spirit. To the best of my ability, I practice the wisdom that clinical psychologist and Buddhist teacher Jack Kornfield offers in his gratitude and generosity meditation, to bring loving awareness to the breath, to bow to the tension and pain in my body, to the heaviness in my heart, and the chatter in my mind, and to thank each of them, my body, my heart, and my mind, for working so hard, for trying to take care of me to the best of their ability, to let them know I am okay, they can relax, and they can release. Sometimes frustration or tears arise And I call myself back to the loving awareness in my breath as it moves in and out of my body. And I let those emotions be as they are, to shift as they may, to sit beside me rather than on top of me. And when I manage to sit and rest in this sacred space, some days are easier than others. Time stands still and becomes sacred, and an awareness of the holy re-enters my being. And I remind myself that being present is a practice, and wholeheartedness living is about vulnerability. When we encourage ourselves to move through the world as present and as wholehearted as we are able, a generosity of spirit and a generosity of love becomes second nature. Love becomes the center of who we are, and connections become more profound. As the Board of Trustees shared in their reflection on love, we respond to the call of love because it is our common theological core. It is what can and does motivate us and illuminates our deepest commitments to each other. This embodiment of generosity through the lens of love enables us to enter into deeper understanding of kindness and a deeper awareness of how we can move in the wider world. As Reverend Kimberly DeBuse writes, one is talking about the kindness that sees a need and offers to help, stands up for the person being bullied, and then makes sure they're safe. Kindness, she continues, disrupts lawlessness and incivility, goes out of its way, knows its privilege and uses it to build justice. Kindness is not easy. Kindness is sometimes uncomfortable because it requires us to not stay comfortable, to not stay nice and docile. So when one chooses the value of generosity as part of their theology, it means they have made it their spiritual practice and are willing to stay with the uncomfortableness, understanding that some transformation will occur by remaining present. That although I said to Jack Kornfield he was talking way too much in his meditation, I can practice and release that judgment. I can transform. When one chooses to be radical in their generosity, it means that their generosity and kindness do not have limitations. One cannot decide whom one will or will not extend generosity to, even in moments that are particularly complex. This places one in the position of being humble, knowing that all of us contain the spirit of life or the Imago Dei, no matter how small that presence may appear to be. May we be so bold and so brave as to envision and embody a world transformed by such generosity. Blessed be.
Amen. 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 Friends, now is the time when we collect our offering of financial resources. I invite our ushers to go ahead and get ready, pass the plate here in the sanctuary. If this is your first time with us, there is no expectation that you give anything more than one of the yellow or beige contact cards that are either in your pews or at the rear of the sanctuary. I invite you to fill those out and let us know how you found us here. The offering goes to a couple of places. Anything that you put into the plate that is money or checks goes to sort of the operating fund of this congregation. Friends, we can go ahead and start passing them. Thank you. And then anything that you put in the white envelopes that are in your pews or any pocket change that you put into the plates goes towards the Change for Change organization that is a different social justice organization every month. For the month of November is the month that we are in. It is the group UU Justice PA, which is part of the statewide lobbying action network that promotes UU values in Harrisburg and in municipalities across the Commonwealth. Friends, we are invited to give generously as we are willing and able. And remember that generosity is not just money, but it is also money. We know there are many ways to give back, and if what you have to give is not monetary, but it is a way to volunteer or to be present with your body, we invite that as well. Turn it over to Holly and our choir for our offertory.
This is called I Believe. And
Speak up to the mic.
I believe the words we are singing were found written. Can I just talk? Is this okay or not?
We can hear you.
The words we are singing were found written on a cellar wall in Germany during the Holocaust.
I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun. Even when it's not shining. I believe in the I
That was so moving and beautiful. As we get ready to extinguish our chalice and end our time together this morning, please remember to stick around for coffee hour to chat with folks on Zoom. And for more information, you can check the weekly newsletter that comes out on Thursdays for worship schedules, and you can see our website for more important dates. The words to extinguish our chalice are shared to your screen. Please read these words by Reverend Susan Carlson along with me. We leave blessed by our connections to one another and to the Spirit of life. Spread your arms, feel the joy, live to love, and be a blessing on this earth. Our closing hymn is number 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. Please sing along as loudly as you like.
I like that hymn. Thank you. You may be seated. Friends, thank you for being with us. Just a couple of quick things to note. Since there's a lot going on here, we have our Justice Council meeting that's happening today after our Second Sunday potluck. Second Sunday potlucks are back, and we are experimenting with how best to fill those. So if you go downstairs, there is a computer downstairs that you can sign up for either for Second Sunday potlucks to talk with folks about, or for any of the coffee hours that are happening during the month. You can sign up for setup, cleanup, whatever you would like to sign up for. If you need help with that, we would love to help you, because we're trying to figure out the best system to provide for our folks, to show some radical hospitality and be love and care in the world. There are a couple of big programs coming up, especially want to mention the Visionary Women's Program, which is sponsored by the Interfaith Center of Philadelphia. We are one of 5 hosts across the city. And if you're interested in more about that, if you are someone who is a woman and identifies that way, you want to talk to Shay, because I am not allowed to be involved. And if you are also interested in adult religious exploration this year, you also want to talk to Shay, who is leading a program called Metamorphosis and Meditation.
M&M now, because you said it too many
I just have M&M written in my notes.
Meditation and Metamorphosis.
Meditation and Metamorphosis. If you're interested in that, there's information downstairs as well. So the announcement slides that are coming up have lots more to do, but I'm so excited to see everyone here and to have so much going on in our community life together. It is so good to be together. So friends, take this blessing with you. When we leave here, know that we are loved. When we leave here, know that we are good. When we leave here, know that we are forgiven. And we leave here, know that we are never, ever alone. May that generosity flow from us into the world. Amen. Amen. Thank you, friends. We'll see you downstairs.
We need more generosity. Hi, hello, guys.
Now I don't know how things are supposed
Hi.
to be. Okay.
I have some problems that I'd like to ask for help. That's a delay.
Sandy, what was your question?
I'll read it to you. I wrote it in chat. I made one little error and I'll correct it when I read it. I'll need a ride on Tuesday, November 14th after daylight for a meeting of the Northwest Tenants meeting. None of us ever heard of this until someone posted it around the building, and I took it. I'm going to make a copy of this myself, and let me just hold it to you.